listen, fuckhead. You can do whatever you want to do. You can put me on mute. You can turn the goddamn channel for all I care. What the fuck are you doing? And you're listening to us now. So obviously you didn't hit the fucking mute switch tonight, asshole.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for the Royal Grumble. Thanks for coming along. To my right, the intellectual saviour of the masses, it's Daniel Moxon.
Hello. Fuck off. Why can't I have that?
To my left, wishing us well in our future endeavours. Hello, Daryl.
I want to be intellectual saviour of the masses.
There's a very good reason why you're not the intellectual saviour of the masses, Daryl.
Twat.
royalgrumble.podbean.com. You can find us on iTunes, obviously, which you probably have done if you listen to this, or you can find us on YouTube. We're at the Royal Grumble, I believe.
Have we got a link on YouTube?
We haven't got a link yet, but you can find it. Just search for Royal Grumble, you'll find us. Facebook.com/Royal Grumble, Twitter.com/Royal Grumble Pod, and royalgrumblepod@gmail.com if you want to get in touch with us. And don't forget, our website is royalgrumble.weebly.com.
We'll get a domain eventually.
We will eventually, yeah. But just as I've eventually, as you may have noticed this week, I finally learned all the websites, so it's probably now time to buy the domain name so I can get them all wrong again. We're not a news show. We're not a review show. We're the show.
Keep ramming that down our
Exactly,
throats.
yeah. We're going to keep doing it, just like Roman Reigns.
Talking of Roman Reigns, do you like the family as a little name for his little trio?
No.
Do you like the club as a little nickname for AJ Styles' little trio?
Definitely not. I love that so many people are coming up with different names for what they're going to call the Bullet Club, And this week it was just the club.
At least it's not just a three-letter acronym like they give to any sort of women's group.
PCB.
PCB, BAD. What's END? END, yeah.
Emma and Dana.
We'll get back to Dana. I want to talk about her in a little while.
I bet you do.
We've obviously the main news this week is the WWE releases, which we're going to go into in great detail later on. But a couple of things I wanted to bring up. Bobby Roode was announced for the NXT tour of the UK and then promptly de-announced when they apparently revealed it a little bit too early. So it looks like he's probably signing because
he was in the crowd, weren't he?
Of course he was in the crowd, but this is them actually announcing him on the show because they've not made mention of that since. And aside from Eric Young showing up the other week, we've not had any word on it. So Bobby Roode, unless the tweet was completely mistaken, should be coming to the UK, which should be good. Quite like him.
Yeah, he's all right.
Another good signing for him.
Yeah. I read this week, I don't know how true it is, but this intrigued me. I read this week that CM Punk and Colt Cabana have fallen out.
Oh, CM Punk, the guy that makes all the friends. The instantly likeable
I know
Punk.
zero about this.
Well, okay, from what I gather, it's probably less news and more rumours, but we're not a news show, so it'll be fine. CM Punk says that Colt Cabana doesn't have his back over the whole lawsuit thing.
Oh.
Now, can either of you think of a reason why maybe Colt Cabana is less keen on the whole lawsuit thing than CM Punk?
Money.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Or lack of money is what I should say. Because CM Punk's a millionaire and Colt Cabana's got about £2.
I don't know how these two haven't fallen out months, years before. Because essentially, my take on it is that Colt Cabana must have been looking at CM Punk all the time he was in WWE going, that should be me though, shouldn't it? It should. I'm better than him. I'm more like what they want. Whereas his time was like an unmitigated disaster. Whereas CM Punk is just a cunt. So
yeah, but I think that what might have happened is that he was stay friends with him because in back of his mind he was always thinking, well, he could get me a job. He could always put a good word in. Phil, can you when you shout me out on telly, can you get me? Fuck off, Scott. No, carry on washing my car.
You think CM Punk's got a car?
Oh, we got a Vespa.
Oh, he does. He strikes me as the sort. Or if he's got a car, he's got a Prius or something.
What a prick.
He does have a massive bus, though. Let's not forget that.
He still got that?
Oh, actually, good point. I don't know if that was a WWE thing or if he's... Yeah. I guess he's not travelling anymore, so he wouldn't need one.
No, just a hockey games.
Yeah. Do you know he likes hockey? He never fucking mentions it.
Just a rumour.
Very quiet on when he's starting in UFC, though. Punk, when are you starting in UFC? Oh, I'm doing fight trade. Oh, I've had more surgeries. Oh, no. He got so annoyed at WWE's medical staff. He's had more surgeries now than when he was in UFC, when he was in WWE.
His more recent one was a back surgery that he's put off for ages, and they figured to have done just after they announced the fight.
Yeah.
He's supposed to be fighting Mickey Gall. It was supposed to happen at 199, which is there's an event this weekend, and it's the one afterwards. Now,
is there any chance he's going to be on 200, or is
not a chance? Not on 200 now. They'll say like even if he was fit, they wouldn't have put him on 200 just because it's such a big show. CM Punk will be used for a card that maybe hasn't got the name drawing power, and people will buy the pay-per-view off his name.
I don't think he's ever going to make his debut.
I think he's a chicken shit.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, I'd never fight in UFC, but I never announced I'm going to fight in UFC because I'm not solid. He's not solid, but he's gone, yeah, I'm going to have a fight. How you foot, mate? We actually like CM Punk, don't we? Well, I do.
I do.
Oh, don't get me wrong. If he ever does fight in the UFC, I'll still watch him.
Yeah. But we just like slag him off as well.
Yeah. I don't like him. I quite like him when he's being a wrestler, man.
Graham, once when you were out in public and you had a T-shirt on that says "Best in the World" on the back, can you tell the listeners what happened, please?
I will tell the listeners what happened. I went to see. Was it Dark Knight Rises?
I think so. Yeah.
It was Dark Knight Rises. It was like the first night or the night before. It was quite an early showing anyway, and I just wore my CM Punk T-shirt because I quite like CM Punk, as a wrestler man, and I thought the T-shirt was really good. So I just feel comfortable wearing it anywhere. It's not like one of those wrestler T-shirts where it's got a massive face on it. So I went to the cinema. From behind me, shouting at the top of his voice, some bloke shouts, "Best in the world!" I don't know what he wanted me to do. Do you want me to go around and go, "Who said that? Do you want to be mates? We're wrestling friends now." I don't... And then the worst part about it was, right, I ignored that. You heard it. Pissed yourself immediately.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Right. Later on, he did it again after the film.
Because he wants to let you know that he's a wrestling fan.
Oh, why?
I don't know. Because some wrestling fans are idiots and they just haven't got any friends.
I don't want to be your friend, right? Especially if you're the sort of person who shouts stuff at people. Unbelievable.
And that's how Graham met Dan.
You're such a prick. You haven't seen any of Raw, have you done?
Nope.
Okay. Yeah. Daryl, you saw most of it, I think.
Yeah, I've skipped through bits and bobs, but I've seen most of it, yeah.
Yeah.
So
I didn't have a lot to say about Raw this week. It was all right.
yeah, I don't know, like this whole the club thing really, really grated on me because it's just like, either don't give him a name or give him a good name. The club's not a good name. It's the name of a biscuit.
They should get sponsorship.
Yeah. And the family isn't as good as Roman Empire. That's a lot better. That's on his Titantron at the back. As they all walk out, it says Roman Empire. And that sounds a lot better than the family.
I guess if you were the Usos, though, you'd still complain a little bit, saying, well, why is it called the Roman Empire?
Right, and then I'd say, here's your walking papers. See you later.
Which they are doing at the moment.
Yeah, I'll just bring some more of his Samoan relatives in who don't mind being called Roman Empire.
Well, you can't bring Rosie and Jamal in because one of them's dead.
Other one's not.
Oh, there you go then.
So I'll bring him in and Tamatonga sorted.
It sounds like you've got a plan.
I have. That's what I'm going to do when I take over.
It does strike me as a bit weird that they've got two better names in waiting for both groups, and yet they're using these shit placeholders, which I assume they're placeholders.
Yeah, well, there was nothing like there was no graphics made for the club or the family. There's nothing like no T-shirts or anything. So yeah, it probably is because like DX did it, didn't they? They were called like the Click and Triple Threat when Triple Threat was in ECW as well. Yeah, they were banning names about like that back in day. Because even Triple H and Shawn Michaels were like putting up three fingers and stuff, and I'm shouting that we're the Triple Threat. I think they just wanted to rob it off Shane Douglas just to piss him off a bit.
And then it was Bret Hart who called them all degenerates. And
yeah, and started it all.
Good old Bret.
Yeah. Fucking hate Bret Hart. I made a special graphic for Bret Hart on YouTube, by the way. I don't know if either of you have seen that.
I did, actually. Yeah.
It's just a little homage to Bret Hart's career. It's all of his best moments on one little graphic. It's him getting screwed, the match at WrestleMania 26, when he won the US title when he came back, and when he got kicked in the dick by Vince.
Kicked in the dick.
And that when I downloaded that's what the picture was called, Kicked in the Dick. So, I'm just going to steal that. That's good.
Fantastic.
So yeah, back to Raw.
Yep.
Big cast.
Yeah, I had. It strikes me as almost Vince has seen Big Cass now, hasn't he? Like, he clearly didn't watch NXT. Apart from he turned up at shows, but he's not paying attention, is he? Clearly, since he's sort of turned up on the roster, Vince was like, "Whoa, hang on, we're billing him at 7 foot tall, and he can talk a little bit on the microphone. Main event, put him in against Jericho, who's about 5'7".
And then it didn't happen, did it?
No, because Dean Ambrose nicked his jacket and ripped it up.
Yeah.
But a lot of people I've seen online were saying they didn't really think Cass were that good of a talker. I didn't mind him, to be honest. He's not The Rock, but nobody is. It was all right. It was passable.
He was fine.
Yeah.
I think I noticed that his attitude seemed a little bit different in that he wasn't sort of... Obviously, I guess it's a bit easier if he's got Enzo to play off, but he seemed a little bit more sort of stern and serious about it, which, again, strikes me as one of these things of Vince has seen him now, and he's like, kid, I like what you do, but you gotta play it for serious. You gotta be a main eventer. but in Vince's voice.
That was good, though.
Every time I do that, you say that.
Yeah, you're good at impressions.
Cheers.
Can you do Wade Barrett?
Yes, I can, but we'll get to that
Just
later.
do Wade Barrett for me.
Wade Barrett.
That's all right, because I've got something later.
Good, all right, okay, that's fine. Right, I'll bear that in mind. I think Vince must also have seen Dana Brooke, because she's been called up now.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's all right.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't get pairing women off, to be honest, because like there's no women's tag team. So like, what are they feuding for? What are they doing?
Scissor.
Did he really just do it? He just really did a scissor joke then.
Yeah.
Misogynist. So all women are equal.
You've got a cheek. You caused me to have dreams about the fact that you treat women very differently to the rest of the roster.
I don't treat them all the same.
As each other?
Yeah.
Oh, right. That's all right then. Yeah, other than that, there wasn't really a lot to say about Raw. Like, they had a weird...
Wait, there is a lot to say about Raw because Goldust and Fandango teamed up, or they're going to team up on SmackDown against R-Truth and bloody Prince Pretty. What's he called? Selfie guy.
I'm not going to tell you.
I don't even give a fuck. Is that insignificant? It's not even going to make my point any worse.
You laugh, mate, but when he's following us on Twitter, you'll cry. So
why is he going to follow us on Twitter?
he is going to follow us on Twitter.
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Promise you.
Oh,
Meant to
right.
talk to you about that.
All right. I'm sorry for saying you're insignificant if you're going to follow us on Twitter.
Exactly. Apologise to Tyler Breeze now.
Yeah, sorry, Tyler.
Good. Yeah, like the 6-man elimination match was actually pretty good, but the problem with it is they're still doing this like teasing who's the heel, who's the face, and they both had very strong reactions from that crowd, but when they're not actually physically interacting with each other, it makes it a little bit weaker. So that was a bit of a problem with it, but Raw was just sort of there really. I do quite like that you're going for the time being, and obviously it won't last, with Stephanie and Shane actually getting along, working quite well as a team. I hope that lasts for longer rather than shorter, but eventually it's just going to end up with Triple H coming back and having a fight with Shane in it.
Yeah, one of the reasons I don't watch Raw, apart from not having the time, is that I'm sick of the McMahons. So that just makes me not want to watch it even more.
But Shane jumps off shit.
I just don't care about him. I'm sick of seeing him on TV being the focus every week. It's too much for me.
I quite like it. Quite like watching Stephanie.
I think Dan's quitting watching wrestling. I think he's doing that right now. I think that's him openly quitting watching WWE right now. This is resigning live on air. Do we have to wish you well in your future endeavours?
Not yet.
Okay.
But I will bring up our Lance Storm quote of the week, which is definitely a thing now.
Lance Storm quote
I just
of
found
the
that-
week.
I just found out Lance Storm has a live tweets Twitter account specifically for live tweeting Raw.
Oh yeah, what's it called? So the
And,
listeners can find it.
At Serious4, the number 4, a minute.
Oh yeah.
And one of his comments on the show was, "My wife just said Goldango sounds like a sex toy."
Landstorm quote of the week.
That was good.
Yeah.
Regular feature.
He's such a boring bastard, isn't he?
Remember when they gave him the boring gimmick?
I do.
Well, another tweet he sent out of this should surprise no one, but there is zero chance I'm ever watching Up Up Down Down.
Right. Cheers for that, mate. I'm glad you let us know what you're not going to watch, so we're not going to live tweet it.
Oh, why? Just... I don't care. Like, don't get me wrong, I don't care about Up Up Down Down either, but I didn't go on Twitter and say I don't care about it because...
He then
who cares?
retweeted Xavier Woods' tweet about subscribing to Up Up Down Down.
What?
I guess that's his sense of humour. Anyway.
Does he have a sense of humour? Because
He's
I feel like
such
he
a
might just
funny
be
guy.
completely like socially inept at this point.
There's no way he can continue to say work the vagina and not...
But I think he may genuinely just be completely, utterly socially incompetent,
He is friends with Big Dave.
but not friends with Balls Mahoney.
No, definitely not. Let's not confuse that.
No, they're not friends.
Balls Mahoney was his friend. Overly friendly, if anything.
But he wasn't. Balls Mahoney wasn't Lance Storm's friend. He
No.
was friends to Balls,
Yeah,
not the other way around.
Because Lance found him quite uncomfortable.
Yeah, because he was
uncomfortable around
he was
Balls.
doing that annoying thing. What's it called? Oh, being happy and talking to him.
Yeah, and asking him about his family.
Yeah,
Go back to episode 3, I think,
trying to
to hear the full thing on this.
callbacks. Worth listening. You have to turn the volume up on those ones.
Yeah.
Right.
Got new mics now, it's great.
Yeah, mine's gold.
Oh, you're odd. All right. Where's your belt?
At home, mate.
That's all right then. Keep it at home.
Do you want a spin of it?
Definitely not.
Okay.
Right. So the main news this week, as we have discussed a little, WWE. It's WWE release season.
Yay!
We should have a jingle.
Spring cleaning.
Spring cleaning.
This is my favourite time when WWE just look at the roster and go, why the fuck have we still got these guys here?
So we're going to go through each one, discuss them in a bit of detail. There's a lot of varied names on here. People young and old.
Oh, yeah.
Where do you want to start?
Just start at top of the list, mate. Whoever
Right.
you got at top of your list.
First one I've got at the top of the list is Hornswoggle.
Really, I don't know all the people that have been released. That's a surprise. Because he was on the Leprechaun thing, weren't he? The Leprechaun film that they
Leprechaun Origins.
did. Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
Me neither, but I imagine that they'd keep quite a lot of the film stars knocking about because you never know when you need another film star to promote something, do you?
I doubt there's going to be another Leprechaun movie. From what I heard, it was pretty bad.
Oh.
And that's by the standard of the
I was
Leprechaun
saying,
films.
That's surprising for a WWE film, isn't it?
Now, I believe, I may be wrong here, but I'm pretty sure the Leprechaun films in general are like sort of reasonably...
Masterclasses in suspense and horror. No, they're not.
No,
No.
exactly. They're average like horror films, which eventually started poking fun at themselves.
My favourite is In the Hood.
Oh, what about Back to the Hood?
Back to the Hood is also great. He kills a guy with a bong in that one.
There you go. Which I'm all right with because that's sort of self-referential. But from what I gather,
He raps in both of them too. Warwick Davis rapping.
it's Warwick Davis. Who could win in a fight between Warwick Davis and Hornswoggle? Pick
Warwick
it now.
Davis, he seems a bit more mobile.
I reckon Hornswoggle would win. I reckon he'd have him.
He's fat now, though, isn't he?
Which one?
Hornswoggle.
Is it?
Yeah.
Maybe Warwick Davis would have him then.
There you go.
Because Warwick Davis has got lanky mates like Steve Merchant.
Get Steve Merchant to go in
Yeah.
and pick him up.
Yeah. If you're like, oh, midget.
Yeah, but then Ricky Gervais would just come in and make Warwick Davis dress in something and fall off things and just piss himself and call it a TV show.
Anyway, with him and one of the other releases we're going to talk about, it sounds like the WWE kind of did a "you must be this tall to ride the WWE gravy train."
Well, I want to talk a bit more about Hornswoggle before we move on to the next one. And
Yeah.
obviously their destinies are intertwined in
Okay,
a
so-
legendary match that you can find on the WWE Network. But
So Hornswoggle was a member of DX at one point.
He was Vince McMahon's illegitimate son.
Yep.
But then he turned out to be Finley's. He's been with the company 10 years.
he was John Cena's like sidekick at one point as well.
Did you see that just before he got fired, he sent out a tweet saying, "Can't believe I've been here for nearly 10 years."
Yes, I did.
And then he got released like the next day.
I really hope the reason that he got released was someone went, hold on, he's been with us for...
Well,
Get the
that was
releases
the
Didn't we
day
fire him
that
in
Vince
September?
actually logged into Twitter. Because obviously he's got his assistant doing his tweets, but he thought, fuck it, I'll do it one
Are
day.
you saying that those tweets aren't written by Vince McMahon?
Well, I just allege that, to be honest. 'cause
He's too
I'm-
busy writing more episodes of Camp WWE.
Actually, it's Steph Green that writes all of them.
Vince is definitely involved.
Well, he probably just sits and laughs at them. Yeah, Hornswoggle was like a major focus of Raw for how many months? 2 or 3 months, I think.
Anonymous general manager, weren't he?
He was the anonymous gentleman. He also had the never-ending feud with Chavo Guerrero.
That was quality, and I'll tell you why that was quality, because I just remember this, right? Everyone was tweeting Chavo, saying to him, like you're not solid, Chavo, like, Hornswoggle's beat you. And Chavo actually tweeted, and was like, no, but in a real fight, I'd fucking have him. Like, Chavo got so pissed off that fans were, like, getting involved in his angle and, like, tweeting him. Chavo, the heel, got so annoyed that out of character, he came out and was like, no, but if it was a real fight, I would win. Well, yeah, because he's an abnormally sized human. Of course you'd win. You just hold his head and he'd swing for you and he wouldn't be able to hit you. And then you just keep kicking him in the bollocks. That's my tactic for fighting a dwarf, mate. I've thought it through.
The Royal Grumble dwarf fighting episode. Want tips? Listen on. Any more tips on fighting a dwarf, Daryl? How would you take down Tyrion Lannister? Because he's quite clever. Right.
What kind of fight is it? Has he got a sword? Because
I think we're talking unarmed combat here.
Okay, so it's like MMA.
Yeah.
Probably
there must have been midget MMA, like dwarf and midget.
I like how he looked at Dan there, because Dan's going to know about midget MMA.
He's my MMA expert.
Yeah, I think it is. Cause I think it's called midget MMA. I'm sure I've seen it on YouTube.
Right.
Because it's MMA.
Oh, that's actually brilliant. Dan's
looking it up now. But yeah, it's
What's the difference between a midget and a dwarf?
I think
a dwarf has
dwarfs do one of them does cartwheels in the circus, and the other one's got just a normal person but shrunk down.
I thought you were at least going to get like...
Oh, no.
I thought you were at least going to do the Office quote there, Daryl. I really didn't expect you to go that far.
I didn't think this was going to be the section where Daryl would say the really inappropriate, offensive stuff.
Oh, that's coming later. Trust me.
I think it's already happened, mate.
Oh no.
Yes, so on a related note, El Torito, who is famous, a famous mini as Masquerita Dorada, I believe.
Yeah.
Was also released. I guess this should have been sort of writing on the wall when they repackaged Primo and Epico back to Primo and Epico. Although they're called the Shining Stars and they debut next week. So.
Yeah, but they've been on house shows.
I'm so excited.
They've been on house shows this week, and one day they've been working as Shining Stars, then another day they've been working as Matadors.
What?
Yeah, doing the exact same match, according to Big Dave.
Yeah, I heard that. It's because neither of them really matter, and they can keep repackaging them, and
They've literally just released the only good thing about the Matadors. Why would they carry on with the Matadors?
Did you know as well, Torito is the only guy on the WWE roster whose real identity isn't known?
Really?
Legitimately no one, because he's been a mini for years and stuff, and they're really protective over their identities. No one actually knows his real name. He's even on Wikipedia and stuff. He's listed as Masquerada
on his
Dorado.
contract. What's it say?
Well, his contract hasn't been released, so
somebody does know.
Yeah, some people obviously people do. Like his wife knows, I guess.
Oh, okay.
Otherwise, I take you masked mini. It don't really work.
Not publicly known. That's very odd, isn't it? That's really strange that someone, because WWE are all about they're not about their talents, real names being known, but they're a lot more sort of open now than they ever have been. So to consider that someone whose identity really...
Everyone get on Twitter. Apart from you, you're a bull.
Did he not have a Twitter?
Probably did.
I think he probably did.
But he's a bull, so he can't type.
I mean, I don't know much about Mexican mini wrestling, I must admit, but from everything I've read, essentially he was being underutilized horrifically in terms of what he means to Mexican mini wrestling and in terms of how capable he is as a worker. Now, I think he's quite old. He may be...
I'm not sure.
He might even be sort of late 30s, mid 40s. Because he was Masquerita Dorada for a long time. And then obviously took his chance at WWE. He'll quite happily walk back into Mexico. I don't know if it's Arena Mexico or AAA or... I don't know which company.
He'll probably be at Lucha Underground soon as well.
Yeah, I would assume once his 90-day no-compete is up. But then they're...
Well, technically they could record tomorrow because it's not going to be on TV for a year.
Well, that's true, yeah. Haven't they already recorded for next series?
Yeah, that's why Ricochet apparently can't sign because his contract extends to the end of next year.
Yeah. Well...
El Torito is not even my favourite cattle-related wrestler.
Is it Mantor?
It's Mantor, yeah.
I've just seen the third name on my list, but I'm going to leave that name till later on. I'm actually going to go next to Zeb Coulter.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah,
you'd think they keep him around in a backstage role, wouldn't you?
yeah, considering all his experience and everything,
Yeah.
he's a very well experienced booker and agent, and he could have done a job backstage for them. But I guess with his surgeries and everything, he's not as mobile as he was, and they just decided now it's time to cut his losses.
It's weird to think that Dirty Dutch Mantel was at one point like the hottest heel manager on the show, albeit for a very short time. I remember when he showed up, it was a really strange thing that he sort of arrived on TV, because I don't know if it was ever made clear that he wasn't working for TNA, but I seem to remember when he arrived, I didn't know that he wasn't TNA's booker anymore.
No, because TNA's booking's always been cloudy, hasn't it? Because like Dixie didn't want to admit Russo were booking at one bit. She even conned Spike at one bit, didn't she? Because she's a mentalist.
Yeah, but she didn't know, did she?
Well,
Because they found out.
Yeah, she tried to. That she CC'd the wrong person in an email, like an absolute idiot.
My mom's got an email address, and she knows how to send emails to the right people.
Yeah, Dixie's just an idiot.
I can see why Nazi investors would want to keep her on as 51% shareholder.
TNA, run by Nazis. Let's not forget that.
I watched a film about what happens if Hitler were frozen in time and came alive, woke up today, right? We were in Germany, and it was like but a Borat kind of film. And they were going around getting members of the public involved. It weren't that good, but I just thought I'd let you know.
Was there at any point any wrestling promotion?
No, it's nothing to do with wrestling, it's just because we mentioned Nazis.
I just wondered if TNA were involved somehow, because like maybe if
crossover,
Hitler won,
yeah.
TNA win the Monday Night Wars
maybe, yeah.
of 2010 with WCW
Yeah,
changing history.
6-sided ring is SS ring. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, Illuminati confirmed. I can't say I'm too surprised that they haven't kept him on in the backstage role, to be honest, because he is quite old school. He's definitely worthwhile keeping on in some kind of maybe a trainer or something like that.
Yeah, chuck him down in NXT. Innit?
Exactly. I mean, look at the sort of look at Dusty, for example. He was down there for so long, and obviously, I'm not saying that Dirty Dutch would have the same sort of impact that he could have had, but it does seem slightly odd that they've just released him completely. I wonder
might not
if
have wanted it though. Like if they said to me, "Oh, do you want to move to Florida and
doesn't he
train?"
already live in Florida though?
I don't know.
I'm just basing it on the fact that he was at TNA.
Yeah, probably then. Yeah, maybe. But maybe he just thinks, fuck it, I've had my time.
Yeah.
I'm old. I'm immobile. I just want to chill out, see my family for a bit, that kind of thing.
I thought you'd have been more emotional about this, Daryl, considering he was responsible for Jack Swagger's proper push.
He was, but at the same time, Jack Swagger's kind of derailed his proper push by being a massive weed head. And,
Never give himself a chance, did he?
No.
God, you know what I've just remembered, though? Wasn't he caught driving?
Yeah.
And didn't... Oh, yeah.
I'd refrain from saying this on air. Yeah, that's what happened.
But no, I'm going to say it, because I think it's important for people to know this, because they
just
won't
say
realise
allegedly
it.
beforehand.
Hey?
Just say allegedly beforehand if you think
No,
you're gonna say anything
this is absolutely 100%
litigious.
true, right?
I just want to say allegedly just in case it's not.
But it is. Because Zeb Coulter's daughter, or someone related to like Dutch Mantel, was killed by someone who was like inebriated at the wheel.
Yep.
And Jack Swagger got inebriated at the wheel.
Yep.
And was pulled over whilst having to work with Dutch Mantel.
Yeah, it must have been awkward.
What the hell? That was a couple of weeks before WrestleMania as well.
It was, yeah.
What kind of working environment?
Because I thought Jack Swagger might have like eked out a win at WrestleMania before that happened.
He probably would have.
Yeah. That'd have been the most glorious night of my life.
Have you ever seen Jack Swagger win, Daryl?
No.
Alex Riley.
Right. Here's my thing with Alex Riley.
Say it to his face.
Yeah. Right. He's been going on Twitter for ages going, oh, you've brought in Samoa Joe, but you're not pushing me. Yeah, because you're not fucking Samoa Joe, you dickhead. It's like, oh, you brought in these guys, but what about me? Rage, Riley, rage. Fuck off.
I don't know if it's legit, but I think it might have been Botchamania posted a tweet where it was he'd sent a DM wrong. He thought he'd sent a DM, but he actually posted it publicly where
Yes.
Eve Marie...
Eve Torres, wasn't it?
Oh, Eve Torres, he sent a tweet to saying, good to hear my cum tastes like butter.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah, so the tweet said DM, the letters DM, at Eve Torres, And then what Mocko just said about his cum tastes like butter.
When was this?
I don't know when it was, but I seen the print screen recently after it got released.
And then the next tweet was, how do I delete tweets?
That's remarkable. You sure he wasn't taking the piss?
I don't know. But
He don't seem he has much of a sense of humour.
Yeah.
But can I just point out that Eve Torres is currently married to one of the Gracies?
Hannah Gracie, yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know if she was like with him when that tweet was sent, but I'd like to think she was, and I'd like to think that Rage got fucked up.
It's the fight we all want to see, Rage Riley against whichever Gracie Eve Torres is married to.
You know, thinking back to when Alex Riley first turned against The Miz when he came in, The Miz was his mentor first off. Like, when he first did that turn, it was almost like the Damien Sandow thing, which is tying into who we're going to talk about later. But he was quite over, and then...
That's a bit of a myth.
I thought he was quite popular.
His music at the start that says "Say It to My Face," it's got like cheers in at the start of it. It's a bit like CM Punk's whole music. It had like what sounded a bit like cheers. So it's on TV, it sounds like he's getting cheered. But really, the crowd are going mild.
I didn't mind him at first, like when he did that little turn on the Miz.
Yeah, to be fair, he was alright.
Yeah.
It's just that it's later on when he's obviously got bitter and he can't see forest for trees and he just thinks, oh, I should get a push. No, you shouldn't.
One of the great Kevin Owens moments is when Kevin Owens beat him in NXT. First off, they were having like this little Twitter thing. Like Alex Riley was just continually tweeting Kevin Owens, and he said to Kevin Owens, the only thing you'll see in the future is asking me whether I want unleaded or regular gas. And Kevin Owens just tweeted him saying, they're both the same thing, you idiot. And it ended that one. And then on TV, after Kevin Owens beat him, Sami Zayn came in for the save, and he decided to walk an odd way around the ring just so he could stomp Alex Riley one more time before leaving.
I do remember that, actually. That was quite brilliant. Yeah, I sort of agree with you. I thought when he came out and he had his sort of turn on The Miz, I thought there was something that could have been done about him. And he beat The Miz, I think, in their first match against each other. And then they just didn't use him.
Didn't he get bullied by John Cena as well?
That was something I heard, yeah. Wasn't it that he like pissed John Cena off or something? It's like, pick your battles, mate.
Yeah, he had an argument with John Cena at back. It's like, you just leave it, wouldn't you?
You would. If John Cena had been like, oh, sorry, mate, I shat on your clothes, he'd be like, don't worry, mate, I can always buy some more. Just leave it. Don't.
Yeah, do you want these ones that I've got on as well to shit on? Like, have you wiped your ass yet, mate? You can have this t-shirt if you want.
Santino got released as well.
I didn't even know he was still under contract.
Yeah, same.
Because I know he'd been back since he left, but like he retired, hadn't he? Because he had some neck injury and he opened a gym in Canada.
I think this is one of these ones where they were just sort of, whilst they're doing it all, they cleared everything up. He must have had a contract that extended beyond a certain time. He did retire. I think he's been back a couple of times for like guest GM slots and
Isn't
stuff like that.
Isn't it like the thing with Daniel Bryan where when you've got an active contract, if you get injured, they freeze the contract? So then technically he was under contract forever because his contract was still frozen.
They can do that.
Yeah.
But I think they can only freeze it if you're recovering from an injury. If you're injured and you say you're done, then theoretically it just starts to run down.
Yeah.
Either way, they've clearly just decided, look, obviously he's not going to wrestle for us again. Let's just put that out. Gone. I think theoretically if they wanted to do anything with him, they could have brought him back to do, like I say, he did do just guest GM spots. I think he was hosting at the Slammies at one point.
He did some stuff on Swerved.
Exactly, just stuff like that. But
yeah, they'll probably still will bring him back in for stuff if they want him to.
Yeah, he's going to have the hillbilly gym role.
Yeah.
Just get brought in occasionally, just do funny little bits. And
he was a really interesting one in the context of this because he had two really remarkable, like, underdog babyface pop moments. There was the one in the Royal Rumble, the 40-man Royal Rumble, which I thought was really brilliant, where he came up having been underneath the rope when Del Rio had chopped everyone else out except him, and it looked like he might have won the Royal Rumble, and people went mental before, obviously, Del Rio tossed him out because that's how they rolled. And then he had the Elimination Chamber match, which was... It was when Daniel Bryan was the champion, leading into WrestleMania 28. Must have been 28 because that's when he lost it to Sheamus. So it was the Elimination Chamber before that. And Santino was the last guy in the Elimination Chamber against Daniel Bryan. And he had a couple of near falls. Like, it looked like he really could have won it before he obviously got beaten.
Yeah, well, he had the one as well on his debut, the Mind Miracle.
Yeah, that was really strange. For a few weeks, they sort of pushed him as this happy-go-lucky babyface guy, didn't they?
Yeah, and then he dated Maria. I remember that from the thing where he started dating Maria and then started being a dick to her because that's how things work.
Oh, he was also a transvestite at one bit as well.
Yeah, that was the meeting I went to.
You were there.
Well, it was weird sat in the crowd because obviously we were sat far back, so we couldn't quite see. We just saw who's that in the corner, and it took a while. And we're like, that looks like a guy. And then eventually, like at the end, when it was revealed to be Santino, it was quite a big surprise. But live, it was really confusing. That it was just this person hanging around in the corner.
They used that music that Billy and Chuck used to have. You know, the one that sounds like it's NSYNC or Backstreet Boys or something. Yeah. One other thing I wanted to bring up. Oh, no, before I do that, he had that feud with Stone Cold as well for a little while, didn't he? When basically it was just using him to promote the Condemned, and then Stone Cold came out and stunned him, obviously, because they can't have a match, and that was it, really. But his promos were quite entertaining during that time.
I don't remember that.
In fact, I've just remembered another thing, literally, whilst I was saying that. He had the honkometer.
Yeah, for the Intercontinental
Which
title, yeah.
was another classic WWE thing of, right, we've got this idea, it's clearly a long-term thing. And then when they got to England, they were like, well, we'll just have Regal beat him for it. Why? Why would you not have him hold it? The whole point of the honkometer, for those who don't remember, if you want to search it, you may, was he said he was going to beat the Honky Tonk Man's reign as Intercontinental Champion. And each week he had a sort of honkometer, which was how many days he was towards completing his goal. And then when they came to England, for some reason, instead of doing the honkometer thing, they basically abandoned it. He came out to add a match against William Regal and just lost the Intercontinental Championship. And I think he'd been the Intercontinental Champion for about 2 or 3 months. I'm not quite sure how many honky tonks was, but it was something like 9 months or whatever, or say it was 11 months, just for, like, you would have thought the way to do it was 10 months and 3 weeks. Dan's just looking out for it now, so I'm just going to stall until he finds it. And the logical thing to do would have been to have him come within 1 week of beating the Honky Tonk Man's Intercontinental Championship record, which was, how long was it again, Dan?
454 days.
Right. Jesus, that's over a year.
Yeah. That's probably why they didn't run with it.
Probably eventually someone was like, "What the fuck are we doing this?" But nonetheless, if you start it, see it through. You know what I mean? It's not as if, because at that time, it's not as if they were really treating the Intercontinental Championship as anything important anyway. I mean, I would say it's marginally more important now.
Yeah, but they had to get it off him so they could get women's belt on him, didn't they?
They didn't have the women's belt on him, did they?
Yeah, he won it at Santino, didn't he?
I can't remember.
You were there.
No, he was Miss WrestleMania.
Yeah, that was Miss WrestleMania.
Oh, the prestigious title of Miss WrestleMania. How could I forget about that?
The annual tradition that still stands today.
They asked Trish Stratus to be in that match and then tell her, "Oh, by the way, Santino's going to win." She was like, no, I'm not going to do that match, thank you.
I don't remember much about it, to be honest.
Sonny was in that match.
Yeah, was she really?
Yeah.
You remember. I know. Remember everything she did, don't you?
Yeah, I think it was that night that she shagged Dolph Ziggler, allegedly.
Oh, right, yeah. Oh. Did he keep sort of rolling around and going, "Oh, I'm the best at this"?
No, he told her that it was always been his dream to shag her. That's what she said on a shoot interview, so if it's bollocks, then it's on her, not me.
There's so few things that I believe her saying, but I completely believe her with that one. 100%. One other thing I wanted to say about Santino, he did the best kick out ever I've seen, which was he had a match with RVD on, I think it was like Raw Homecoming or one of these shows. And RVD was like coming back just for one night. So he kicks him in the head, does the frog splash on him, turns around and does the thumbs thing. Apparently in later interviews, RVD said the reason he turned around and did the thumbs thing was because he forgot it was a match. And then he had to turn around and pin him. Despite this, RVD then celebrates for 2 minutes before Santino spontaneously chucks his shoulder up and he's like, "What happened? It was only 2." Like 30 seconds he was lying on the mat, like knocked out.
Can I point out that you just said that Rob Van Dam forgot he was in a match?
Yeah, he did. He actually
The
did.
wonders of cannabis, ladies and gentlemen. Me and Rob are mates. I met him outside a glasses shop once.
Yeah.
True story.
Didn't you meet him 2 days before he was supposed to be at 1PW?
Yeah, this is after I stopped working for him. I do not owe you money.
And wasn't he charging people at 1PW for photos?
He was, but he didn't have his bum bag with him, did he? Outside that glasser shop.
I'd have loved to see him try and charge you outside Computer Exchange. That would have been brilliant.
I'd have just nipped in and traded a DVD in for cash.
Traded in one of a kind, the RVD story.
Yeah. I should have ran in and got him to sign it, shouldn't I?
Ah, you should have. They are. Several years later, you're feeling like a fool. And then he had that match with Davey Richards.
That was fun.
Has anyone seen that match?
I don't know. Well,
we
we
saw
were
it,
there.
but, like,
Yeah.
wasn't the whole point of that match that they booked him against Davey Richards so that it would become like an indie legend match and people would buy the DVD? And then RVD said, no, I'm just going to do an RVD match, which we all knew he was going to do anyway.
Yeah.
1PW. Cameron.
Who's Cameron?
Well, all I know about Cameron is her favourite match was Melina against Alicia Fox on Tough Enough Series 5.
Okay,
Stone Cold Steve Austin turns to her and literally just says in her face, "Who?" Can you imagine being Melina and Alicia Fox watching that going, oh, Stone Cold Steve Austin doesn't know who we are.
Yeah, I can imagine that. But at the same time, I don't think it were a diss on them.
No, it wasn't.
I think it's a diss on the fact that she's so stupid that she didn't know that they could not have a good match.
What's even funnier about that whole thing is she was the first one eliminated from that season of Tough Enough, and she had a contract before the season was done.
She was the only one who survived that series.
Yep.
And got a contract. I mean, I think the bloke, the one who won it, got a contract, but he got released really quickly.
Yeah, as soon as that first year was done.
Silent Rage. Andy Levine. Was it Levine?
Yeah.
I just remember the other guy being much better. Luke. Was his name.
He turned up in TNA, I think.
Is he really?
I think he did one match or something in TNA.
Probably. I just remember he was better, and I think
Did he get injured?
he maybe did. But what I remember thinking at the time was, oh well, they've given Andy the win because like they can promote him as the Tough Enough winner, but they'll still sign the other Luke guy. They didn't sign the other Luke guy, and he just sort of faded into obscurity. Or TNA, as apparently is known.
Yeah, I think that Vince just hated that whole thing because he came out and just dicked on him, didn't he, straight away?
First, came out and slapped him, and then Stone Cold stunned him.
Yeah. Well, welcome to the company.
Who won the last Tough Enough? I can't even remember who it was.
I don't think I watched the last stuff.
I didn't watch. I didn't watch.
It was Sarah Lee and
Oh, the Australian guy with the shorts.
Oh yeah, the guy who called the social outcasts the social jobbers.
Brilliant.
Yeah, he was the guy who won it as well.
What's his name?
The alligator wrestler.
No, it weren't him.
No, it wasn't
easy.
him. No.
Though pretty much everyone from the series has got a contract apart from Tanner. Like he's
all
the
these
only
names mean
one.
nothing
Yeah.
to me.
But did either of you two watch Total Divas? I can never remember.
I've seen Total Divas, but I do not watch Total Divas.
See, I do, and she's annoying as fuck.
Who's annoying?
Cameron,
Okay.
the one we were talking
Oh,
about.
right, I didn't know if we moved on, right? So Cameron, why should I?
Yeah, she's just very. She's got a high opinion of herself. Did you know that she released a single a few years ago?
No.
Wasn't
Yeah.
that on Total Divas?
Yeah, they showed her recording and everything, and I will read the lyrics to you now.
Okay.
This shows how talented of a writer she is. Bye bye, girl bye, boy bye, bye bye, bye bye, bye bye. Her first verse, you know it's time to go, you know it's time to blow. A few things you should know, I'm about my paper, baby.
Wait, she just said that if you pay her, she'll give you a blowjob. Right.
Well,
Cameron, let me just say, you're out of work now and times are tough, so I've got a fiver if you've got, you know.
the second verse is classy and ghetto. When I hit this dance floor, all you hear is give me some more. I know you want to touch me, so that they look so sprung. They sound so dumb. They all think they're the one. That's when I tell them good. And then it goes back to bye bye, girl bye, boy bye, goodbye, out of my life. Repeat.
Wow.
Well, wait, the second verse has the lyric, you know I like sex, but not more than big checks.
What?
That's good. It's good to know, isn't it? Good piece of advice.
Wasn't she the one with a really annoying boyfriend as well?
No, her boyfriend was actually, like, at first he was a bit annoying, but then as the show went on, he becomes the lovable one, and you feel really bad for him having to deal with her shit continuously. Like most of the people on Total Divas, to be honest.
I just remember the first series of boyfriend being an absolute bell end, but I don't know.
He was kind of annoying at first, but then he grows on you. It's kind of like Jonathan, Eva Marie's husband. At first, he's a bit annoying, but then you wonder how he deals with it all, and you feel bad for him, and he seems quite a good bloke.
All right, fair enough.
That's the whole story of Total Divas.
Brooklyn Brawler.
It's sad, isn't it?
Steve Lombardi.
30 years.
His fucking shoot interview will be... It'll be genuinely interesting. Like,
He can retire on a beach off the paycheck you'll get off that
probably
fucker.
can. Have
Did-
him and Patterson
have they-
fallen out?
Have they like fired him, or is it like a mutual thing where he's gone? Do you know what? I'm like a bit like Zeb Colter. I'm getting on a bit. I just want to go home.
Judging by a tweet he sent out, which was something like it made it sound like it wasn't mutual. It was talking about facing problems and having to deal with adversity and all this stuff. But it's kind of like what they did to Mark Yeaton. Like he was with the company for like 20 years or so. The timekeeper used to throw Steve Austin his beers, and they just released him. Also, another one I found was Jack Doan, the referee.
Yeah, has he gone?
Well, he went a while,
Did
like
he?
2 years ago,
Oh.
and his Twitter is one of the most depressing things. At the moment, he's talking about his daughter blocking him. That's the life that awaits long-term employees of WBA.
Is this the real life version of
Yes.
the Tim White lunchtimes?
Yeah.
My God.
So I've got a list of all the people Steve Lombardi played in WBA. So you've got he competed under his own name briefly in the early 80s and then occasionally in the 90s. He was Abe Knuckleball Schwartz, the Boston Brawler, the Brooklyn Brawler. He was Dunk the Clown after Matt Bourne and before the guy who took over him.
Matt Bourne died. Remember last week.
He was Kim Chi. He was called MVP at one point.
Yeah, he was. That was
Yeah.
part of the Abe Knuckleball Schwartz thing, I think.
Yeah, it got changed to Abe Knuckleball Schwartz, I think, afterwards. And then Red Knight, that was the Survivor Series match with the Hart Foundation versus Shawn Michaels and his Knights, because it was supposed to be Jerry Lawler, but Jerry Lawler was facing charges for something horrible, if you remember that case at all.
What was he facing charges for?
I think it was sex with someone underage.
Allegedly.
Allegedly sex with someone. I think it was that. Definitely allegedly.
They're a classy bunch, these wrestlers. Aren't they?
A few other career highlights for him. He won a Battle Royal for a WWF Championship match in 1997 at the Madison Square Garden. He went on to face Shawn Michaels in a match where Brawler dominated Michaels but was defeated due to interference of D-Generation X.
Of course he was.
He later scored a pinfall against Triple H in a handicap match in 2000.
I knew that one, actually. That was around the time that Triple H was like putting everybody over in order to make himself look amazing, like when he had that match against Taka Michinoku, and then he had some other match against... Maybe it was the Brooklyn Brawler one I'm thinking of.
One of his last big appearances was teaming with The Miz and Alberto Del Rio to defeat 3MB.
That was Alberto Del Rio's face turn.
Yeah.
You know, the first face turn that Alberto did... was it the first? It might not be his first face turn, but what I ever remember is that was like a face turn for him. It might even have led him to... Oh, I don't remember. What I do remember is that was a face turn for Alberto Del Rio.
Brooklyn Brawler got the pinfall, got the submission in that match. He submitted Jinder Mahal with the Boston Crab.
Ironically.
And so his main job backstage as well, he coordinated radio promotion with talent, shooting interviews for upcoming home video releases, organising international advertising spots, and helping finesse promos with people on show nights.
He was a constant presence on John Cena. John Cena used to have a show on the website, which was like John's 5 things with John Cena.
5 questions.
Five
for the
questions
champ.
with the champ. That's right, yeah. Or 5 questions with John Cena when he wasn't the champion. And he was always behind the camera because John Cena used to just always call him out, and it used to censor John Cena swearing with the Brooklyn Brawler.
Yeah,
saying Brawler.
Yeah, or saying Cena, you are censored. Because there's also a video of John Cena singing Cody Rhodes' theme tune, going, "Whoa, you're only Steve Lombardi!" Whoa, which is amazing.
But yeah, like the Brooklyn Brawler one, that was really shocking when we heard the news about that one, because like he's been with the company so long and he seems to be like in with like the Pat Pattersons and people like that in the inner circle.
What do you mean by that?
What do you mean by in with Pat Patterson?
What do you mean is he with Pat Patterson?
In what way is he in with Pat Patterson?
Can you elaborate, please?
He's in the inner circle
Does
with
he-
Pat
does he like
Patterson.
smoke-
He's in the inner
Does
circle.
he like smoke
Would you call it
cigars
the
with
inner
Pat
ring?
Patterson?
Smoking cigars.
Does he smoke Pat Patterson's cigar? Is that what you're saying?
No.
No.
Is he in Pat Patterson's inner ring?
No.
Huh.
He's
You
in,
said he
he's
was
in
the
Vince
circle.
McMahon's inner circle.
Is in Pat? The hell is in Vince McMahon's inner ring?
That wasn't on the sleaze list.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of these very odd ones where these do come around occasionally, where these people who you think are going to be there forever just aren't, and I guess it just shows that no one's job is safe. Speaking of no one's job is safe, Wade Barrett was officially announced as being released. Now, we knew Wade Barrett wasn't going to renew his contract anyway. Preston City Wrestling, straight away on the Twitter, hey Wade, I'm sure some people in Preston would really love to see you. Literally, not even subtle. Like,
Well, Wade Barrett posts on Twitter as well saying that he actually requested an early release and would be granted it. And I actually believe it with all the contract stipulation stuff going on. So he's the oddity on this list that he actually asked for his release. Well, I guess you could say the people who possibly going to get released soon, they're asking for it too. But yeah,
he probably did the smart thing though, because he's not been booked very well, has he? Like lately,
no.
And maybe he's thinking I can go somewhere else, rebuild my career while I've still got a bit of a name for myself. And even if he don't go back to WWE, he's still got a name value where he's because if you suddenly, say if he was still under contract and they suddenly started pushing him, I don't think any of us would be like, why are they pushing Wade Barrett? When we would be like that if it were like Zack Ryder.
yeah.
Because he's not at that level. So he probably thinks, I'll get out while I can. Maybe he's going to pursue other things, or he's going to try and rebuild his wrestling career and then maybe come back.
Yeah, he's apparently got some acting jobs coming up and he's wanting to broaden his horizons, and everyone sees Batista, don't they? And they're like, I can do that.
Yeah.
I want that job.
I don't think he'll do a lot of wrestling. I honestly think he might be one of these that really tries to go into acting. I mean, he'll do some wrestling, because obviously, like I say, God knows how much PCW would be willing to pay him to have a hometown match in Preston. And there'll be other promotions that want to book him for something, so I wouldn't be surprised if he does a few of them. But I think generally he's going to be one who looks to go to acting.
He's going to be fighting Michael Bisping for all his acting roles going around.
He was a main eventer. Not a proper main eventer, but he was in a fair few main events in 2010, 2011 time.
Well, yeah, because of the Nexus, weren't it?
Yeah.
But then they fucked that over.
Yeah. SummerSlam 2010.
Yeah. Is that the one where John Cena eliminated 3 of them within the space of 5 minutes?
Yeah. That was the one where John Cena got given, was it the wasteland on the outside?
I think
on
so.
The concrete or something?
Yeah.
And then went back into it's the one where Edge and Jericho have both talked about it since and said, we told John Cena that this was a stupid move. He said, no, I'm going to do it anyway. And then went back in and went, no, you guys were right. It was a stupid move. It's yeah, we told you that. Yeah. Now it's happened. I bet he was fucking devastated. Not.
Wade Barrett's career is just how many times they've dropped the ball on different things where it seems like he's getting over.
There was a lot of injuries though. He got injured a lot. He was supposed to win he was supposed to win a Money in the Bank and he got injured.
Yeah, but some people that have won Money in the Bank hadn't really done much with it, have they? Swagger, Sandow. They're the 2 main culprits, I think.
So we come to the final one on the confirmed list at the time of recording the podcast, although I would not be remotely surprised if a couple more, which we're going to talk about, have been released by the time that the podcast is released. Damien Sandow.
Yeah, he's one who's been in the company for a long time, but has only the last few years actually started making a name for himself.
It was teachers' pets, weren't he?
Yeah.
He left, actually, after that.
He had a brief stint where he left and went to Puerto Rico, wrestled for World Wrestling Council, and then eventually got re-signed, and then...
He went to work for OVW when OVW had left WWE, and he went to World Wrestling Council as well. He was known as Aaron Idol Stevens, I think.
Yeah.
And then they brought him back, had the Damien Sandow character, which was, moderately successful, I'd say. Had some interesting moments. Won Money in the Bank, which I think at that time, because he wasn't the first one to lose. Sorry, I tell a lie. He wasn't the first one not to win the title, but he was the first one to lose. Because the first one not to win the title was John Cena.
Okay.
But that was a bit of a cop-out. It was one of these things where they wanted someone to not win the title. And they thought, well, someone like John Cena is all right to be the first person not to win the title because he's still strong. But they also didn't want to go the whole hog and have him lose. So he had that title match against CM Punk on, I think it was one of the Raw anniversary shows. And he lost by disqualification when the Big Show attacked him. So he wasted his Money in the Bank shot, in theory. Because the week before he came in as if he was going to do a proper cash-in, but it's John Cena and he doesn't do that sort of thing. So he said, I'm putting you on notice, so I'm going to have a match with you next week.
Yeah, he looks kind of fucking foolish though, doesn't he?
Yeah, but...
When you say you don't do that sort of thing, do you remember that time when Rey Mysterio won a tournament for WWE Championship. And then John Cena came out and were like, "No, I'm champ. Shall we have a match now?" And then they had a match, and Cena beat him.
No, he didn't. He waited till the end of the show, so 2 full hours is what he waited to have that match with Rey Mysterio after he already had a wrestle. And then CM Punk came back, and they went, "Right, bye, Ray. We've used you for what you need you for."
It was the run after this where they did the thing where Sandow was impersonating random people because he lost his identity, and it led to him becoming so popular. But he did my favourite thing in this whole run was for a lumberjack match, he came out dressed as a lumberjack. And that to me was just the greatest thing ever.
That's your favourite thing in the entire
Yes.
run?
Yeah, like it was one of those things where I really hope he dressed as a lumberjack. That would make sense. And he actually came out dressed as a lumberjack, and I was happy.
Cool.
Yeah.
I didn't even finish talking about like original Damien Sandow, but I guess we're done with that now. He's just one of these people. The weird thing was he's back on TV recently, like really recently.
Yeah, and still really popular.
Yeah, he's insanely popular. Could you imagine? I'm not saying he would have been like, because obviously similar things have happened to Cesaro and it hasn't worked. But if he'd won that Andre the Giant Battle Royal a week past, WrestleMania 31, I think he'd still be. He'd certainly be more popular than Zack Ryder, who's still got a job.
Yeah.
I think he is more popular than Zack Ryder now.
Yeah, I think that I don't know, the fans like him for some reason, don't they?
Yeah.
I can't quite work out why.
I think he's just basically when he was having the feud with the Miz, he was teaming with the Miz, and the Miz was berating him and stuff. His facials and his sympathetic character really shone through, and so when it came to the time for him to deck the Miz, and he did, it went down well, but it didn't go the way that it should have gone because I think they had one match maybe on Raw.
And didn't the Miz win?
Probably.
One thing I do remember about it was when he went back to being Damien Sandow after he lost the right to be Damien Mizdow. Him and the Miz had a fight, and he sort of knocked him down, and then he put his arm up to do that elbow of disdain thing that he used to do as Damien Sandow. But it'd been years since anyone had seen him do it, so no one. It was like he put it up as if it was going to be this massive pop, like as if like.
Roman's going to pull his elbow pad off.
Yeah, exactly. Or as if like Kane had been banned from doing the chokeslam for about 2 years and suddenly was going to do the chokeslam again or something like that. He chucked his arm up and everyone's like, yeah, and...
yeah, just do it, mate. Do your elbow drop.
Bloody hell.
I think he'll do quite well, though. He seems to be the only one out of the SAC ones who have already got indie dates booked all over the place, so he'll do all right for the next little while, and then TNA will probably try and sign him.
If TNA still exists by then.
Yeah.
He's one I could actually see coming back, though. He's another one of these ones. You know, they have these people like Goldust, for example, who disappears and reappears depending on when they need him or not. So long as he sort of keeps his nose clean and sort of improves his work, does well. Well, that's it on who we've been confirmed to be released so far, but I think it's safe to say one is definitely going to be released and one might be going to the end of the contract. Now, the person that's definitely going to be released is Adam Rose.
Yeah.
Why is Adam Rose going to be definitely released, Dan?
Because of Papa Shango's curse. That's why Adam Rose is getting released. And also, he was just arrested for tampering with a witness and domestic violence.
Okay, so domestic violence is pretty easy to know what that is. What's tampering with a witness?
I'm not 100% sure. I'm guessing it's after she called the police, he tried to get her to change the story or something like that. But his mugshot is available on all good news sites.
And on our Twitter, which you're going to put it on now.
Yes, I will do that.
Yeah, he doesn't look very good.
I think I already have, actually.
That's all right.
I already have. And
Royal Grumble Pod.
I've seen Michael Jackson's mugshot, and he looks a lot better than that.
Oh, you're not supposed to look good on him.
No, but like some celebrities, they look all right on their mugshots. Why does it look? It looks fucking wrong.
Because he's just been arrested for hitting his wife. That's why he looks a bit miserable.
Well, he made that choice. Don't fucking hit your wife.
Yeah, that's a good call. So yeah, he's probably going to be gone by the time this comes out.
The daftest part about that is he had that big statement which you read on air the week talking about how people are going to sully my name in front of my kid and wife or whatever.
Wait, can he get away with it? Right. Here's the case for the defence.
I'm already terrified. Go on.
WWE banned me from taking my Adderall. Right.
I thought of this earlier.
So they're banned from taking my Adderall. So I've been off my Adderall. But because I've been off my medication, which WWE told me I've got to get off or I get banned, it made me beat my wife up. This is WWE's fault. Adam Rose, I can be your lawyer.
At Royal Grumble Pod or royalgrumblepod@gmail.com. Adam Rose, if you want Daryl to be your lawyer. He's not legally qualified. He's not been admitted to the bar.
Oh, no.
But he's come up with that idea on a podcast that you might want. So,
yeah. And I assume he does listen to this.
well, can he listen in jail though?
Probably not.
Well, get in touch if you can.
We fucked it. They called him up too early for NXT, I think. They had that cool entrance and that were about it.
Yeah, so they went, oh, cool entrance. Let's bring him up. And then, funnily enough, it didn't work. He also had a guy called the Bunny. Let's not forget the
I've
Bunny.
got the action figure of the bunny. They released the action figure of the bunny.
If anything else, that says more about you than it does about the fact that they released an action figure of the Bunny.
Yeah, I think it does.
That you were the one who bought it.
Good.
And Justin Gabriel probably bought one.
Yeah, he's not had a figure in a while, so...
Look, mates, this is mine. No, it's not Justin. No, I was in this. Wasn't Sami Zayn in it as well for a little while?
I'm not 100% sure.
I'm pretty certain he was. I'm pretty certain for a little while after Justin Gabriel got released, Sami Zayn was the Bunny.
For now, the Silverback.
Which, yeah, at least was with... At least, I thought Silverback was Mark Henry.
Oh.
No, I think that's what they called him.
Weren't he like Ryback? Because that's where the Ryback name comes from. It's
No,
like Ryan
they were
Silverback.
they were referring to Mark Henry as the Silverback when he was feuding with Ryback. Anyway, it's Ryback we're talking about. That's the whole point.
Right, Dan's Googling it now because no one can be wrong. Skip Sheffield. He was called Skip Sheffield at one bit. Who remembers that?
Yeah.
Yep.
His
What
nickname was the Silverback.
But
There's also the corn-fed meathead.
are you also going to search for the fact that they did call Mark
I know they call
Yeah,
Mark
they
Henry
definitely
as
call
well.
Mark
Look at
Henry
them.
it. They
That's where the
definitely call Mark
Ryback
Henry.
thing comes from.
Right.
Silverback and Ryan.
Okay. Ryan back. As I seem to remember we referred to him last week. Yeah, so he's going to get released this week. They've removed all... Well, they might not openly release him. There's every chance, from what I've read, that they might just let his contract run down because it's easier than... Because apparently they can end up with constructive dismissal and all sorts of things if they actively sack him whilst he's in this situation. So, because his contract's coming up, they might just get rid of him. We touched on it a little bit last week. Massive missed opportunity. I don't think in terms of... He wasn't the most talented wrestler, but in terms of who his character was, people connecting with him, it all came down to they put him in a match that they shouldn't have put him in. They gave it a stupid finish that they shouldn't have given it. And then they fucked him even more.
Yeah, but then recently they repackaged him, put trunks on him, and they even made mention of him. Oh, he's changed. He's got trunks.
Yeah, and they really prepped him for that feud with Kalisto for the United States Championship. I like Kalisto, but God, that's not the way
So
to
they fucked
build
him
someone
twice,
back up.
really.
Yep.
I mean, the first
they
time
fucked
was
him like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, the first time was the bigger one though.
The
That
big Hell in a Cell thing.
yeah,
Ridiculous. Right, just don't put him in the match in the first place.
yeah. Just push somebody else into that position if you're adamant on having CM Punk.
Although, I do remember, did you ever hear who CM Punk wanted to wrestle that pay-per-view
I
instead?
might have heard, but who was it?
He put up Kofi Kingston, and they said, no, of course we're not going to put Kofi Kingston in the main event of Hell in a Cell, just because John Cena's injured.
Oh, but at least he had his boys back.
Yeah.
I didn't think CM Punk could do that.
No, it's his boys that don't have his back when they're facing a multi-million dollar
I
lawsuit.
see how it is.
Dick. Have you guys got anything else to say about Ryback?
Not really. He's not going to be back at all.
Back.
Yeah. All the talking about his back.
Ry's not
Yeah.
going to be back.
They'll just sit him at home and let his contract run out rather than sack him, and everyone will, like, all the hype will die down. Like any hype that was left will die down, and then by the time his contract is actually over,
I think he'll be one of these blokes. I think I said this last week anyway. He'll be one of these blokes who turns up in New Japan.
probably.
He's not got the sort of work rate sort of thing that a lot of New Japan guys have, but as I mentioned last week, he's got the name value. So
Yeah, and he's massive.
He'll join the Bullet Club with Adam Page and
I don't
Adam
who's
Cole.
the other guy? Adam Cole.
I
was
don't
the
even know
one
who
as
Adam
well.
Page is.
that's because it's not a real thing. It's Adam Cole.
No, there's a wrestler
No,
called
no.
Adam Page who's joined Bullet Club. But I
Oh,
don't know who
really?
he is.
Oh,
Yeah,
God, who's
two of
that
them's
then?
joined.
Two of them.
Yeah, Adam Cole joined at the pay-per-view, and then Adam Page joined afterwards. They were both in the Kingdom together with Mike Bennett.
Don't even know.
Yeah.
No.
The Miracle Mike Bennett.
Mike
in TNA.
Bennett shags Maria.
I know who that is.
Oh.
It's literally so bad that I thought he got the name wrong. That's how insignificant Adam Page is. Well, hopefully no one else gets released between now and the podcast being released, but nonetheless, that's another episode of the Royal Grumble for this week. Thanks very much for listening. Say goodbye, Daryl.
Goodbye, Daryl.
Say goodbye, Dan.
Bye.
Ciao for now.
Ciao.
Oh, dick.